It's Sunday, December 8th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would be so kind, please make sure to give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this video and all my videos all over your social media with your friends, family, everywhere. So please share these videos. Continue to wake people up. Now, I printed up a handful of articles here, and I want to get your opinions on this. So much is happening around the world, but this first one coming from CNN, I was reading this last night. Defense Secretary announces nearly $1 billion in Ukraine aid as he forcefully argues for global U.S. leadership. This is Lloyd Austin, our Defense Secretary, and in fact, maybe one of the next people to be pardoned. We shall see. But this was announced yesterday. And again, this isn't to be political, but I have to ask the question because we talk pretty much economics on this channel, finances, staying out of debt. Who's paying for this? Yet again, another nearly $1 billion going to Ukraine. Look, as I've said in the past, I don't want to see people in Ukraine losing their lives. I don't want to see people in Russia losing their lives. I don't want to see anybody in the Middle East losing their lives. I want this all to be done and over. But here we are, a bankrupt nation sending another nearly $1 billion financing this war, the continuation of this war, the continuation of loss of life. And we are paying for this. And, you know, if this goes on for another 10 years, let's just say, hypothetically, are we going to just keep paying for this for the next 10 years while more and more people lose their lives? This makes no sense whatsoever. Let me know your thoughts on this. Hopefully, this war is going to be over in 2025. And I have a feeling there's a very good chance that is going to happen. It's going to save us a lot of money. And how is this not inflationary when you're sending billions with a B over to Eastern Europe? How is this not inflationary for the United States of America? Where is this money coming from? Well, it's being printed, which is devaluing our purchasing power. It's being taxed, which is more inflation, which is hurting your purchasing power. So it is a complete and utter mess. Now, shifting gears here a little bit. The last few days, I've been reading a lot and seeing a lot of this on the news about these car-shaped drones in New Jersey. And in this article right here, it's talking about car-shaped drones spotted near Trump's New Jersey golf club. Clusters of these drones have been spotted all over New Jersey. They're very large. These are not your hobbyist drones, your DJI drones, the drone you buy at Best Buy. These things are over 5 feet in diameter, they're saying. They started appearing in the skies over New Jersey back in November. What do you think that they are? What is going on here? And this is very interesting. Joseph Orlando, the chief of the Florham Park Police Department in Morris County, told residents that the drones have also been spotted hovering over critical infrastructure, including water reservoirs, electric transmission lines, and police departments. The FBI is investigating at the moment. No news, no updates from the FBI. Very, very strange. What was it, last year when we had the Chinese balloon flying over the United States for about a week before it was shot down, sending very important updates back to the Chinese government while it was flying over military bases, water reservoirs, electric transmission lines, and God knows what else. But what is going on here, and why isn't anything being done about this? It wasn't seen once or twice. This is literally an ongoing situation where people in New Jersey are spotting these things. It seems like literally daily they keep coming back and nothing is being done. There's no answers. Nobody's telling us what's going on here. What do you think that this is? Now, something that hit kind of close to home last night. About 10 minutes from here, I'm in Palm Desert, about 10 minutes from here is Palm Springs, and they had their annual Christmas parade. Thousands of people showed up to this event, and it was a horrific moment that took place. A speeding motorcycle cop plows into a crowd of revelers at parade as mass casualty event declared. One person lost their life as of right now. 10 people injured in the hospital. Absolutely horrible. I watched the video of this. What is interesting and odd is this motorcycle cop makes a U-turn in downtown Palm Springs on Palm Drive there, and he accelerates, pops a small wheelie, loses control, and flies into a crowd of people on the sidewalk there. And so I bring this up because you just never know how quick things can change, how quickly life changes. And be walking close to God, because you never know what tomorrow brings, how quickly. How many people went to that event last night and thought that they would land up in the hospital or losing their life? How many lives now are going to be changed? It's going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit without a doubt. And what I find also interesting is Palm Springs, and not to pick on Palm Springs, their police department. I'm sure there's many fine people there. But they're flying drones to find speeders. They've got their license plate recognition systems. They're doing all kind of things over there. To make sure that if you're going 10 miles over the speed limit, you get a ticket. And here we have a motorcycle cop driving recklessly at the parade and taking a life and injuring 10 other people. But in the meantime, they're using drones, they're using radars, license recognition, all this technology to go after the citizens to make sure that they pay their $300, $400, $5 speeding tickets and moving violations. Yet their own police department rides a motorcycle recklessly through the parade and created a real tragic event last night, and this is going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So look, again, I'm sure that the officer feels horrible, the department feels horrible, but it's so hypocritical that these are the same people giving you and me a ticket for going 10 miles over the speed limit, but yet it's okay that they're driving very fast, popping wheelies, and now taking a life and injuring a lot of people. Very, very sad. Let me know your thoughts on that. Again, I'm not picking on the police. I think we have some really amazing police out there. Always a couple bad apples, and this might have been one of them right here. But maybe this was just a bad decision. Maybe a really good person. I'm sure that this individual feels horrible. But let me know your thoughts on this. Can Nissan survive? Automaker slashes U.S. production as bankruptcy looms. This is really unbelievable what we're seeing in the auto industry, especially the lack of quality just plunging off of a cliff while prices continue to soar. But Nissan's looking for a new anchor investor after a terrible financial year. Sales have fallen off of a cliff for Nissan. Nissan has 12 to 14 months of survival. That's it, and they're done. If they do not find an anchor investor in the next 12 to 14 months, Nissan could be history. They could be gone in 2025. Could you imagine such an iconic company like Nissan just being gone? Just over. Really, really sad. Really sad. Here's another one. China is the world's manufacturing superpower. I think this administration has to be very careful about sanctions, because I was just watching a news show the other day, and they said, most things that we buy at stores as Americans, 89% of those things are coming from other countries. We only make 11% of them. What's on our store shelves? 11% coming from America, 89% coming from other countries, mainly China. China accounted for 31% of global manufacturing in 2022. That puts China 15 percentage points ahead of the United States. Chinese manufacturing accounted for 30% of China's total economic output. Manufacturing here in America accounted for 10% of America's GDP. 70% of our GDP is, guess what? It's consumption. Americans consuming, buying stuff, many buying stuff with money they don't even have. So that's the big difference between how China is taking over the world and how America is losing. Wall Street Journal, young men are making risky bets on crypto and politics, raking it in now. Wall Street Journal. A lot of risk out there, ladies and gentlemen. People, no doubt, enjoying the euphoria, the utopia, but there is big risk out there. Gold, Bitcoin, meme stocks, sports betting stocks have made 62% returns in the first 11 months of this year. And many young men, 42% of young men, it says here, have invested in crypto. How much longer can it go on? You tell me. Very, very, very risky right now, in my opinion. And you know, young people have never been through an economic downturn. They weren't. Many of them either weren't born or too young to remember the 2008 great financial crisis. But a lot of people just think that it's very, very easy, that this is investing, just buying a meme stock or a crypto. And, you know, if you just hang on to it for a couple weeks or a couple months or a year, it's going to go way up and you're going to make lots of money. But yet a lot of people have lost a lot of money. Some of them have bounced back. And some of them, you know, just are unaware that there is risk out there because they've never seen a downturn. And so maybe they've seen some of the cryptos pull back, but they've come right back and people have made their money back. And so, you know, people are feeling good right now and they're ignoring the risk that are out there with these, I guess, speculative assets, I guess we could call them. But this is just really straight up gambling. And just people just don't realize that when you go to Vegas and gamble, most of the time the house wins. And so a lot of people are making some money right now. And if you are, be cautious. Don't keep the money on the poker table too long. Make sure you're pulling some profits and diversifying. Bashar al-Assad, private fleet of luxury cars revealed as Syrians loot his palaces after dictator was forced to flee the country. Now, I've heard different updates here that he's in Russia. I've heard that he might be in Dubai. Nobody know. We even heard that his plane crashed. So we don't really know at this point. But the end of his 24-year-old brutal rule is over. The dictator and his family. I was watching some of the videos today, reading some of the articles, viewing some of the pictures. These people they lived like royalty. Like emperors and empresses. The car collection this guy had was unbelievable. I saw an F40 or an F50 in the garage. I mean, this guy was living very, very well while most of his people lived in extreme poverty. But it is a lesson that if you think you're invincible, and this family did, they thought they were invincible. They found out they were not, that their legacy finally came to an end. The brutality has come to an end. It says here that some people went to Assad's palace for chandeliers, but the smart people went to the bank and got the cash and the gold. So I hear at the moment the ATMs are not working. There's going to be a transition of power. This thing has a lot of moving parts to it. So we'll follow up and see where this all goes. But it is a very, very interesting time to see this family taken over and exiled from their country. A new power is coming to Syria. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I believe the leader right now is on the terror watch list that right now is taking over. Again, this thing has a lot of moving parts and a lot of players to it, but we'll see how the transition goes. Right now it seems to be very, very peaceful. Seems like this is what the people for the most part wanted, and we'll see how it all plays out. But it is a reminder that don't get complacent. Don't believe that you're invincible, because you're not. And this family just found that out. And is this, you know, maybe some of you know more about this than I do. Is this going to be a good thing for the world? Will this be good for America? Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Right now, from what I'm reading, it looks like maybe it is. Maybe it is a good thing. I don't know that much about Assad, but what I do know, it wasn't too positive. So maybe this is a good thing. But look at how fast things can happen yet again. Whether I'm talking about this parade, you're looking at what just happened in Syria. I had not really heard anything about this until it happened. And here we are. Now Syria will be under a new rule. Here's another one. Rumors swirl about the West planning to exile Zelensky. If a ceasefire is reached in Ukraine, the West is considering exiling him to London. This after 500,000 people have lost their lives over there in Ukraine. I guess that, after this guy, look, again, I don't want to get political here, but we're talking about numbers. We're talking about human life. We're talking about a war that should have never took place. But is this guy just going to ride off into the sunset after, 500,000 people so far have lost their lives in Ukraine, and he's going to ride off with billions of dollars? I don't know. I'll tell you this. I sure wouldn't want to be this guy. I sure would not want to be this guy, because I don't know how long he will exist after the exile, or if he stays in Ukraine. I really, really don't. I think this gentleman might be on borrowed time, but he has been part of this disaster. A lot of lives have been lost on both sides, and if he does get exiled to London or even America, how long does he survive? Don't know. Again, not wishing any ill will on anybody, just looking from the outside in. It's my perspective, but I think there's a lot of people that don't really like him, and I don't know how long he will be around. We shall see. But at the end of the day, I want the whole thing to just end, as most of you probably do, and I want my tax dollars to stop going over there. And if I'm going to pay taxes, which is already disgusting, at least those tax dollars should be helping people in America and the infrastructure and the security of America right here. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I really, really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, all the prayers, and have yourself a good Sunday evening. And make sure that you are walking close to God and staying awake to what's happening. Look at this. We've seen now a takeover of Syria. What does the rest of the week bring? There's so many things happening, and you just, again, never know what you're going to wake up to. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week. We'll see how it plays out. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to all of you very, very soon.